Back in week 2, the Bills lost their first matchup against the Dolphins. Can Miami do it again? The answer comes your way next.
From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The excitement brewing here in South Florida. As a moment ago, the Dolphins starters were introduced to this home crowd. They're fired up as well as they get set to match up with the Buffalo Bills. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the offense for the Bills, led by their quarterback at 6'5". That's Josh Allen.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it, in the middle of the schedule. And his first pass is incomplete. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. That's caught by Gabriel Davis. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Allen. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's Devin Singletary. He played in this state at Florida Atlantic. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Throwing is Allen on 3rd. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is dropped. Oh, boy. A chance for a big play early, but he could not secure it. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it, in the middle of the schedule. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down. These two teams, they met up earlier in the year, back in week 2. And it was the Dolphins with a road victory, so they'll look for the sweep now here in Miami. Here's a 2nd and 7. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. They head head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Back to throw. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
Now the former Washington Husky, here's Myles Gaskin. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. He'll look to throw. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Their mobile quarterback with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. The CD, I mean, there are touchdown runs, and then there are touchdown runs, and that one certainly fell into the latter category, and that deserves a couple exclamation points.
I think defensively, when you look at a play like that, that's when everyone looks at their teammates and starts shaking their heads a little bit, because now you're wondering, what are we in for? Worked all week to try and limit the big play ability that he possesses, and he winds up taking one to the house in the very first quarter. That was a tremendous run.
And he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Bills out for their second drive. And they, of course, coming into this one in the midst of a tough losing streak. They did get helped out by the open week last week, and in talking with him, all indications were, Charles, that was a very helpful break.
Yeah, I know a lot of teams, coaches, they hate taking time off in the midst of a losing streak because they think they have to stay on their toes and punch their way out of it. But occasionally, you get that open week, you step back, evaluate what's been going wrong, see what you can put in that can move you forward, and maybe you get a chance to breathe a little bit and kind of start over.
Behind the chains, 2nd and 13. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. Oh, look at the juke. And he's brought down, but not before a really nice stiff arm to create a little space. Now Allen. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Play action. Now it's Allen. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jalen Phillips, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks of the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though, and they could barely get a glove on him before he got the quarterback on the ground.
This is a draw play. Allen gives to Singletary. And once again, the Dolphin defense holds firm as they'll stop him behind the line of scrimmage. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Allen going to throw. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Here's Logan Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So Miami coming out for their 2nd drive. And they had lost 2 in a row prior to getting the open week last weekend, so potentially a chance for them to get away for a bit, keel up, and come back strong.
That's what the hope is anyway, because you're going to find out now with your team, are you still focused on being the best you can be for the rest of the season with the things going the way they have earlier this year?
2nd and 9 now. Flush to his right. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the 1st down marker. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He finds Robinson. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Off the option, here's Gaskin. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. On play action, they'll throw. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Jason Sanders now for the Miami field goal. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. The kick by Sanders is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it. And he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Back now on offense, the Buffalo Bills. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all. And let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice. So they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
A 1st down run not going to get them a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Allen in trouble, and he's taken down. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this 1st quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. Now Allen. And this is going to be incomplete. Here's Logan Cook now, standing just outside his own goal line. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. $10-0 to score after one on EA Sports. Second quarter from Miami. It's the Dolphins with the football. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And they are back down to the 500 mark after 2 straight losses. And, Charles, this is a team that, to be frank, their play has really dropped off the last couple of weeks.
And, Brandon, I think there's a sense around the building that they can't let this losing streak get any worse than it is. Because if they were to lose here and fall below 500, then you're playing catch-up the rest of the way. They've got to take a stand and make it stop right now.
And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down. He'll look to throw. He's going to find his tight end. That's Hunter Long. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And they run the option here on 1st and 10. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there and worked out well.
How about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
On the handoff, it's Gaskin. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll run now with Gaskin. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. And he's got his tight end, Gesicki, in the end zone. Touchdown, Dolphins. Mike Gesicki, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run. They find themselves open for an easy touchdown.
Of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes our score 17-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This one taken just inside the 10. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Here comes Josh Allen and the Bills offense back onto the field. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, That usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. On 2nd and 11 now. Allen looking middle, and it's incomplete. The Bills on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11. To throw, it's Allen. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Fielded at about the 28. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He's thrown for a touchdown. He also ran for a touchdown, so they have to count for a guy that can do a little bit of both.
And because of that, that puts a defense back on its heels. Because normally you just think, okay, he's going to throw the ball. Let's tee off, put a little extra pressure on him. But when he's able to either escape or run with the ball and design plays, that really changes what you try and do on defense.
Yeah, you certainly can't forget about the arm, that's for sure. Second and 10. They'll set up a throw. That's complete to the fullback, Ricard.
You don't see too many pass-catching fullbacks nowadays, partner. In fact, you don't see too many fullbacks, period.
Good news, though, he does have decent hands, and we saw it right there on display. Looks for Parker, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Buffalo offense back out ready to go. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
The Bills on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Allen. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down.
Now, that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On the counter, this is Singletary. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Second and 11 now. From the gun, it's Allen.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line. Boy, we've seen a lot of mistakes here in this first half, and another there on the interception.
Yeah, they're certainly starting to pile up, aren't they? Because, let's face it, we expected miscue here and there, but they're already down 3 scores and still giving the ball away. If they want to get back into this one, they've got to take care of the ball, because right now the way they're playing doesn't say a whole lot for their chances.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
Now Allen going to give it to Moss.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. From midfield, here's Allen. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's thrown for a touchdown pass, and he's run for one so far.
When you're able to watch a guy perform at a high level and do it in multiple ways, yeah, arm, legs, he really helps his team in a big way. You've got to think that they feel great about where they are in this ball game. They feel even better about him leading their team.
Well, he's hoping to put them into a better spot after this drive.
Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL.
This one complete to Jalen Waddle.
Second and 1. This is caught by Robinson.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. 2nd and 15. It's complete to Parker, left side. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. A nice job to get 11 out of that pass play, but now they face a 3rd and goal. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
Film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
So they wind up turning the turnover into points as they convert there for 3.
Yeah, that was a nice job there to force the fumble. They recover, hand things over to their offense, and then the offense went down and got them 3. That alone, that's not enough to win a game, but both units able to do their jobs on these last 2 drives.
The Buffalo offense and Devin Singletary heading back out there.
He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense has done a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Allen. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
Jalen Phillips in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance, they've got to get the ball in his hands a lot quicker.
Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
We'll start up in the Steel City, Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. And they are nearing halftime with the Steelers out in front. Deontay Johnson, a touchdown reception. From there, we head down south to Tampa to check on the Bucs at home at Raymond James Stadium. And they've gone to the half in that one with the visiting Saints out on top. Richie James, a touchdown catch in that first half. Finally, let's get to the country music capital of the world and see what's happening with the Titans at home in Nashville. And they are in a tight one, all tied with the visiting Ravens. With that, let's take a look at the next-gen stats for Buffalo in that first half. And not much went right in those first 2 quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, it's been no contest in terms of the rushing yards. You see a much, much brighter picture there.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15. The Dolphins getting set to go back to work here in quarter number 3. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. They're going to look to throw. The screen pass here to Cohen. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play. And it'll be fourth down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on third down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Throwing to start the drive. Allen works right side into the hands of the tight end, Knox. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Allen uncorks one for Davis. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And he finds Beasley complete. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the 1st quarter, good 2nd quarter, and now continuing that here in the 3rd.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami.
Let's get it.
An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Parker. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
This is Gaskin on the carry. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. They'll look to throw here.
This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Now they go screen. It's complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up the 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback, because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a 1st down.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage. Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball down. On the perimeter, can play out wide, get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Darrell Williams, right tackle, the guilty party.
A bad false start penalty there. Now 2nd and 6. They run the counter. Singletary. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he completes it to the tight end, Knox.
And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
They'll run on first down with Singletary. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Allen. And bringing it in, it's Davis. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, trying to get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time.
Allen hit. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. The 20. And this is brought all the way back. A fumble recovery and taken to the house for a Miami touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score. And a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower postgame. Sanders now to add the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Buffalo set to get the football back here.
They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't. Allen hit. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And this is brought all the way back. A fumble recovery and taken to the house for a Miami touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. You talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
Sanders on for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Buffalo offense back out ready to go. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. On the give, this is Singletary. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Now, after that last running play, we've got an offensive lineman down on the field. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Singletary again. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
Well, these two teams met down in Miami earlier this year with the Dolphins winning that one. So they're looking for the season sweep with a win here in Miami.
Allen now on 1st down. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on 1st down to set him back on 2nd.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
2nd and 21. A lot of ground to cover.
Another try after the 1st down sack. Allen, and he drops it incomplete. And your struggles continue here. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He hits Beasley right side. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the 1st. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Here's Logan Cook now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A good gain on 1st. Has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29.
He's going to keep this again.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there.
Come on, boys. Come on.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, it'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the fourth. Here's Gaskin. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This is 3rd and 7. He'll look to throw. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
At that time, finally a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line.
It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, you'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15 every time he takes off. Not in that case. That has to feel good for the defense.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on here to punt it away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Yeah, here come the Bills.
They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there, and trailing big here in this 4th quarter.
In his own end zone, it's Allen. Out to the left, he's got his tight end Knox. And he's able to get him a small cushion before being taken down at the 5, a gain of 3. Throwing again on 2nd down. Allen over the middle, and it's incomplete. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Looking deep downfield.
And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. A nice little juke. A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Dolphins offense returning to the field, and it would appear that the open week a week ago came just at the right time as they have dominated the proceedings here into this 4th quarter.
Now a handoff here to his running back, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Out of the gun, running with Cohen. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. 2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. Open receiver here, complete, it's Parker.
And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way, it worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Off the option, here's Gaskin.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss.
And he's going to use his legs here.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it.
It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball. But the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. He'll decide to keep this once more.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. It's their quarterback with his 3rd touchdown, the game, number 15 on the year.
Well, the Dolphins look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
This one taken just inside the 10. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here.
It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. Throwing to start the drive. Allen. And he fins him up. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never play their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Another try after the first down sack. Allen. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down. Allen now looks to throw.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to be a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance.
Miami set to take over. They're in control here as they start 1st and 10 and appearing to have righted the ship following that 2-game losing streak.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. On third down, he'll drop to throw.
He'll get this out wide to Gaskin.
And they will rally and stop him short of the first down. They get him to the ground at the 26. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now fourth down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a fourth down?
The Dolphins will send out the punter now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. So possession goes over here on the punt. A fourth quarter score now from Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. And it was the Colts emerging victorious. Jameis Winston, a touchdown pass to help lead the way. First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off Byron Jones. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense, and they're suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Sanders now to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Fielded right around the 8. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Buffalo set to get the football back here. And you hate to see this for them, but they're looking at yet another loss to begin this season. Things really going from bad to worse as they trail here starting this drive 1st and 10 in the fourth quarter. Now Allen to try again after the pick six. Then Beasley with it over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Miami, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the New York Jets come to town. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, it's yet another loss as they've started out now 0-7. And they'll try again next week at home against New England.